One. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chippers Podcast Network NFL Pick'ems for Week 2. It's me, Kirby Stancil, your host, flanked by Riley Northover, who's also my co-host, and then a new guest replacing Brendan for this week. Might be temporary, might not be. Who knows? Nicholas Jones. So welcome. Just to recap on last week, I went 9-7 on win-loss and against the spread. Riley went 9-7 on against the spread and 10-6 in win-loss. And then big reason why we let Brendan go, he was a little bit below expectations. 7-9 against the spread and 8-8 win-loss. So, I mean, it wasn't like significant. We're all going to have bad weeks. We're not going to go perfect. But anyways, we're just going to go ahead and start.
Was I the best? Was I the best this week?
You were the best in win-loss, and then we tied for against the spread. And we'll see how Nicholas does with this, because I'm not really sure how good
You've seen his fantasy skills.
Yeah,
fantasy skills are subpar, so we'll see about his betting skills.
My skills are not subpar, bro.
So anyways, we'll just go ahead and start off with the Thursday night game. We have Cleveland favored at home against Cincinnati by 6 points. One of you two want to go ahead and start off?
Yeah, I can go ahead and start off that one. All right. The Bengals are going to go ahead and manhandle this game. I shouldn't say manhandle, but they're gonna come out and kind of prove a point. You know, they go out week 1. Pretty tough defense they go against in the Chargers, right? Kind of an underrated defense. They're pretty good. You can give me that face, but they do have a really good defensive line. I think Joe Burrow, you know, he didn't perform great, but he performed well. And I mean, they had the win kind of stolen from them a little bit. At least the tie, or going to overtime with the Bullock miss. But yeah, I think the Bengals are going to go in there and win it by probably about a touchdown, because what we saw from Baker Mayfield week 1 was not promising whatsoever.
Yeah, I agree as well. I mean, it's going to be Thursday night. I think it kind of sketched out Joe Burrow playing in a empty stadium that had no fans whatsoever, and it was probably just a weird experience to the NFL. But this one's going to be under the lights. Everybody who cares about the NFL will be watching this game for 2 number 1 quarterback picks facing off against each other. And that's whenever Joe Burrow actually performs. Baker Mayfield, he does not show up really ever. The injury report doesn't really have like any significant players. I guess both of the Bengals' defensive tackles, Mike Daniels and Geno Atkins, are out, which could be a big factor if you want to run Kareem Hunt or Nick Chubb up the gut. But I think this is going to be more of a more of an air game than a running game this week. What do you think, Nicholas?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game, and I'm going to say they're going to win pretty handedly, a little more than what Riley was saying, more than 1 touchdown. I'm going to make a bold call. I'm going to say Burrow's going to have at least 3 total touchdowns this game, whether that be 1 on the ground, 2 in the air, whatever. But I'm feeling this is going to be a pretty good game out of Burrow. I don't have any inclination to think that Cleveland is going to get it together in time for Thursday night, even though I'm a Nick Chubb owner. I don't see it happening for them. So I'm definitely going to pick Cincy for this one.
So are we all on board that Sam Darnold is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield?
No,
that's a bad question.
You see, they're both trash. So.
Oh wow! I don't even know how to tackle that.
Because were they both the top 2, right? Because Baker went 1, obviously. Then was Sam 3 or 2 to the Jets? What was it? I forget.
I think he was 3.
Yeah, it was something, but I feel like it's kind of a wash at this point. You'd rather just not have either.
I can't blame Darnold yet. He's got Gase still, so
Yeah.
I
we'll
mean,
see.
yeah, but he's a USC quarterback too, which automatically caps his potential.
Yeah. So we're all in agreement on Cincinnati as a road team not being favored. Next game we'll go ahead and do Rams versus Eagles. Just to be fair to our guest from last week, Brendan, he did come in before the podcast started and he said that the Rams were going to win. Um, take that for what it's worth. We're not. We might have
You
him
said
on
you said
next
they're going
week
to
to
win big.
discuss. Yeah, win big. Which he probably chose. He would take. Let me see the odd. Oh yeah, this game is a straight up pick 'em. The line moved from Philly 4.5 to like straight up pick 'em. So and that's mostly in part due to all of the injuries that Philadelphia has suffered. Like Brandon Cox, Brandon Graham did not practice this week. So I mean I think I'm gonna go Rams here. The Rams looked really good against like a pretty stout Cowboys team. I think it could have been different had Mike McCarthy not been an idiot. Um, but I liked what the Rams doing, and the Philadelphia defense just or their offensive line looked absolutely trash, and their defense is starting to get whittled down by injuries. It's looking like a tough scene up there.
About you,
Yeah,
Nicholas?
yeah, I'm going not to copycat, but I am going with the Rams again. I mean, Chase Young terrorized them.
Ryan Kerrigan as well. I think he got like
Kerrigan
3
went off.
sacks.
Uh, yeah, they had a pretty successful game defensively against them. Uh, so I expect the Rams. I think Aaron Donald is going to get his. I think he's going to do well. And like you said, week 2, and the Eagles are already decimated by injuries, similar to last year where they were just racking them up on IR. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Rams to win this one. I could definitely see it being close, similar to how the Pick'em had them. I don't think this is going to be a runaway, but I am going to pick the Rams to win this one. Maybe good performance out of Malcolm Brown, getting more of a head start for being the starting running back over Cam Akers. But yeah, definitely picking the Rams for this one.
Do the Rams have a good edge rushers?
Well, they lost Dante Fowler. He was their best. I don't know
Oh,
who,
oh.
off the top
They,
of my head, is their
they
best. I
have
know they
Leonard
have good
Floyd.
interior.
They got him
Ooh,
from
yeah.
Chicago.
That's not like much, but all right, Riley, what about your pick?
Yeah, yeah. No, I think the Eagles will have a little bit more success this week. I think when you look at that Washington line, that kind of gave them a lot of troubles. I mean, there's a lot of talent along that line. You have Kerrigan. We talked about Young, but we also didn't talk about Payne, Sweat, or Allen. That's also on that line. So they're really deep and really good. So
Yeah.
they might have honestly one of the best offensive lines in football within the next couple of years. Um, but yeah, I got to go roll with the Rams here as well. I know we're kind of copycatting each other, but it's not looking pretty for the Eagles at all right now. And the Rams at least, have a win, and they won it. Maybe not. It was a tight game, but they looked good while they were doing it. Malcolm Brown is solid out of the backfield, so it's a pretty easy Rams by 4-5 kind of win right for me.
Okay, so we got to get away from this hive mind. Next game, Carolina traveling to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is favored by 9. Surprisingly, the line did not move. It only moved half a point, and it was in the Bucks' favor. So I guess Las Vegas was not really fazed by the poor performance last week. Big problems with the wide receivers in Tampa Bay with their depth. Mike Evans, he was injured a little bit. He was doubtful going into the game on Sunday and still played. Chris Godwin has entered into concussion protocol. Well, like I said, this is it. I think this has a real strong potential to be a trap game. so early in the season. I mean, I know Tampa Bay is still very talented, but I at least that's a very big spread for a team that looked like pretty okay and could score a lot in the Panthers last week, and a team that could not get much done against the Saints defense. I think at least Tampa Bay is going to cover, not Tampa Bay. I think at least Carolina is going to cover and lose by a touchdown. I I don't know. I think this line's a little bit too large.
Yeah, I'm surprisingly enough, I'm in the same boat. I think the Panthers, they were better than I was expected last week. I mean, they hung in there with the Raiders. I'm not saying the Raiders are world beaters or anything, but I was expecting them to kind of get not blown out, but torched a little bit. So
Yeah.
I think they're going to be able to hang in there. Their offense looked a little bit better than expected. I know they weren't really pushing down the field too much, but whenever you have an offense that's kind of centered around, one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in football, it's kind of tough. But there's just so many weapons along that Tampa Bay offense that it's just kind of hard to pick against them in a game like when you're playing a team that's not that talented. They have two elite running backs, and Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette.
Wait, what? Wait, huh? What? What?
But yeah, so I got to roll with them this week. Or I have Tampa winning, but the Panthers covering.
Is how many times is Tampa Bay gonna keep on running Leonard Fournette? 15 times until he pulls off a 20-yard gain. Is that gonna be how long it takes?
Ronald Jones was the main ball carrier last week.
I'm just asking about Leonard Fournette because he was such a great player. I mean,
yeah, well, I think by week 5 they're both going to be averaging about 75 yards on the ground.
Jesus Christ!
Leonard Fournette will get it on 30 carries though, so it's not going to mean anything.
Okay, so you were in agreement with me as well. What do you think, Nicholas? Wait, did you think that Carolina was going to win or lose?
I'll say Carolina covers, but I have Tampa to win.
Dude, we all have the same fucking thing again.
I'm sure it'll get varied the more we go on, but I think this could be one of those sneaky high-scoring affairs. But I'm gonna go with Tampa to win.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we've just ran into a ton of agreements. It's not going to make for a great pick'em spot if we just all pick the same fucking thing.
But if
all right.
we're all going to be right up to this point.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So next game, Denver at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is favored by 7 points. One of you guys take it because I can flip on a dime if I need to.
When you said Denver at Pittsburgh?
Yes, Denver at Pittsburgh. Home favorite.
What was the line?
7 points.
For the Steelers?
Yep, straight up touchdown. And
Denver straight up. I'm going to go Denver straight up this week. I think they're young, really, really young, but, the Steelers they were okay, but they weren't anything special against the Giants. And we all know the Giants aren't very good at all. I mean, the past 3 years, they're the worst team in football record-wise, and it's including with the 0-16 Browns. So, yeah, it's not looking good. Good. I don't think Big Ben looked that great week 1. I don't know how that's going to move forward. I mean, I really don't think it looked that great. I think he was kind of mediocre. And I think Drew Lock played a little bit better than his line might have said. But so I'm going to go ahead and go with Denver, kind of coming out there and pulling out a close win.
Nicholas, what do you think?
I'm taking Pittsburgh to win this one. Ben's back. Giants, they're definitely not a world-class team. I don't think beating them is anything to write home about. But I don't think Ben looked trash. I think he looked good coming off been a year since he took the field? It's been a while?
364 days, officially.
Yeah.
Almost a year.
And then he just comes out there and he just imposes himself on the defense. And and they have Snell. He's coming into the starting role for running back, probably gonna surpass Connor. You got Deontay Johnson, James Washington get more looks. Maybe get Claypool involved. I know he's a big body receiver, and Steelers are no stranger to churning out top tier Pro Bowl receivers. So I'm gonna take Pittsburgh to win this one handily too.
And so they are covering.
Yes.
That is what you were telling me. Okay. I mean, look, Big Ben, he's a reformed man. Did you guys see his post game interview?
Of course.
First thing he did.
First thing he did was thank God.
Thank God. Thank God he doesn't jack off anymore. Probably helps his arm strength as.
Is that actually something he said?
He said like, I think in the off season there was a story that came out that like he was addicted to masturbation. Like that was his thing. So you just think about that. He's using his arms a lot. Using it a lot. I think it would be his throwing hand, which would be his right arm. So he cuts that out. There's a lot more strength left as the season goes on, and he's old. So he's going to be able to keep that strength up and deliver the ball to the wide receivers a lot better. So, I mean, I just think whenever I watched both games, I liked a lot more what Pittsburgh did. I mean, their offensive talent, like Nicholas said, was just very good. So I don't really have much to offer that hasn't been said. So I'm just going to go ahead and take Pittsburgh to cover.
Do you have the injury report still up? What's Sutton looking like? I know he went out first game, but
what's who?
Sutton? Wasn't Cortland Sutton the one that went out?
Yes, I think Cortland Sutton, he had limited participation in practice, which is better than guys like Deontay Johnson, and James Conner. So actually this is a pretty loaded. The Steelers basically had like their whole offense just not even practice today. It's kind of weird. Even like from Deontay Johnson to Juju, very weird. But I'm still gonna take Pittsburgh. I have full faith. So next game it is our favorite teams, Atlanta taking on Dallas, traveling to Dallas. The line is moved from 7.5 to 4.5 in favor of Dallas. So some money coming in on Atlanta, at least for the spread. What do you guys think? Nicholas, you go first.
Yeah.
You haven't gone first yet.
So I'm picking Dallas to win this. They're gonna cover. I'm really souring on Dan Quinn. I don't have much nice to say about him.
The brotherhood.
Dan loves getting up here and saying these empty platitudes and we're mad as hell. I'm pissed off. Well, we get it, Dan. You can only be so mad until you have to start adding results to being mad. But we haven't seen that yet. We didn't see it last year. Why do I think we're going to see it week 2? We literally heard the same thing this time last year. Week 1, we're pissed off. After we got our ass handed to us when we went to Minnesota, it didn't end well. Then who'd we have after that? Was it the Bears? The Bears or the Titans? We had
Somebody.
Week 2. Yeah, we lost that too. So I have no reason to believe that his hard-ass talk is going to convince this team to pull a win out. I don't see it happening.
Riley, I'll go ahead and take this. Nicholas, you stop it right there. This Atlanta team, it's something different. It's full of dogs. That defense was just swarming. And, we're going to be able to stop Ezekiel Elliott. He's only going to go for 90 yards.
Horrible take.
90 yards.
Horrible take.
Dak is only going to go for 300 yards. Okay?
Only.
So you add those numbers up. They put up 390 yards. Guess what? We're going to put up 400. because our offense was that good. We're going to carry that second half performance into the first half of next week. And then we're going to carry it into the second half. Okay? We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. I have Atlanta plus 4.5 and a win. Easy.
I'm already looking forward to Dan Quinn's post game. We could have executed on all three phases better. Credit to the Cowboys, good team.
We're just mad as hell.
We're pissed. Just that. We're pissed, and we're going to get better. We're going to work harder. We will be ready.
Riley,
I'm
go
done.
ahead and split it
I'm
for
done
us.
with
Who are
it.
you taking?
I'm going to go in between. I'm going to have the Cowboys winning, but the Falcons covering. Week 1 for the Falcons'
Garbage
defense
time.
wasn't really inspiring at all. I saw a statistic that said that Russell Wilson had 35 pass attempts, and he was the only quarterback in the NFL to not have a contested pass. Meaning our
Yeah, I
DBs,
saw
no
that.
DBs were close enough to contest a single pass. So if that kind of tells you what the kind of defense we're rolling with right now. I don't know if it's scheme or if it's players. I'm thinking it's scheme because it's kind of
It's
an issue
players.
that's been.
They suck. They're not good. The secondary, at least. Our pass rush, I thought, was much improved. They actually
It is much improved.
solid. But, man, Oliver, I'm on record for being an Oliver apologist for 3 years now, but he's starting to wear thin on me. I mean,
Oh yeah, I
was
didn't
just
even think about the
bad play.
secondary. That's gonna be
I
a
mean,
dumpster fire.
I'm going to guess that Oliver is going to get reps against Cooper, and then Terrell's probably going to be on Gallup, if I had to guess.
You think
doesn't
this
even
is gonna
matter.
be like I'm just gonna see the over under if we could. The over under in this game is 52.5.
The Dallas
I feel
defense
like
isn't bad.
I'd take the over. I'd take the over.
I'd probably take the over, but the Dallas defense isn't that bad. But yeah, we're gonna have a whole lot of troubles holding down that passing offense. If we couldn't do anything against, Seattle's receivers, I don't know what we're gonna be able to do against Dallas. So I got the boys winning, but the Falcons covering in a semi shootout.
Okay, all right.
It'll
Well,
only
at
be in
least
the
we
fourth
got
quarter
different
when the
picks
game's
that time.
over.
Of course.
Okay. So next game, this is gonna be a rough one. San Francisco traveling across the country to face the New York Jets. Cross country road favorites. This is they're favored by 7. San Francisco is against the Jets. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's gonna be San Francisco easily by 7. It's not like late enough into the season where travel and fatigue actually takes like a mental strain on you. And I'm pretty sure San Francisco they're like practicing in West Virginia this week. This is San Francisco easily.
Yeah, this doesn't really deserve a lot of talking time. This is
No.
pretty straight up. San Francisco to cover easily. I mean, you have Shanahan and company against Adam Gase. Come on.
Yep.
Bell's
Easy.
on IR. Yeah, this is a slam dunk pick.
Easy
Well,
does it. Riley?
I'll counter your IR with
Whoa.
Richard Sherman going on IR. So
Sam
and
Darnold's going to somehow for it like
no, he's not. No, he's not. The
If
49ers
anything,
are going
that
to win
helps
this game
them.
by three scores.
Yeah, if anything, that helps them because they don't have to have Richard Sherman on the field with Jamison Crowder. Like that just seems like a matchup nightmare. So
It's not going to be pretty.
no.
I think
Yeah,
we're
this
all
is
in
gonna be a
agreement. This
drubbing.
one isn't. Although we said the same thing about Jacksonville versus the Colts last week, and
That
we all
is
saw how that turned
true,
out.
but San Francisco went to the playoffs, or they went to the Super Bowl last year. The Colts signed Phillip Rivers. That was just a dumb. That was a dumb thing
Jags
on our
are
part.
Actively tanking, or at least
Yeah.
it seemed like it.
Well, I don't know what the Colts are doing. Clearly. Okay.
But we saw the Jets week 1. They were not good, and they were still played well again. I guess maybe not well. The Bills just played poorly. They're not.
Yeah,
a
I
very good
mean,
team. Neither of them
the
are.
Bills had a lot of unforced errors. I mean, Jimmy G's
Yeah.
not going to be running around giving up fumbles like Josh Allen will. So
who's the QB for the Bills again?
I literally just said Josh Allen in his unforced fumbles.
Saw a couple of
So
videos where he threw some receivers over their head.
okay, cool. So we're all in agreement on San Francisco -7, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, great. We're moving on to conveniently, it's right fucking below. Buffalo traveling another road favorite, traveling down south to Miami. Buffalo is favored by 5.5. I think I really like Buffalo in this game, not just because of Josh Allen. I think their defense was really good, and Miami doesn't really have the talent to match up with Buffalo's defense. And then also, I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's going to continue to play bad until he gets benched, because that's how it always goes. So I think this is easily Buffalo 5.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Buffalo this week, winning and covering, but I don't think it's gonna be easy. I think the Dolphins are gonna keep this one pretty close. I think Josh Allen's gonna probably have some more struggles this week. I know he had some struggles last week.
Just the
I think-
fumbles. Just the fumbles.
and some of his throws, right?
Yes, his throws were pretty bad, but guess what? They happened in the end zone where the defensive backs couldn't get it. Because if you overthrow in the end zone, it's just going into the stands.
Yeah, he overthrew a wide open receiver.
Yeah, but it didn't get picked off. So
Right,
he could
okay.
be underthrowing it and have a noodle arm.
I mean, he was wide open, so if he would have owned it, thrown it, he still probably would have caught it.
All
at least had a
right,
chance.
whatever. Give your take, Nicholas.
Getting back on schedule.
I know you love to jack off the Josh Allen hate hype train.
Oh, I love slandering Josh Allen. Believe me, I love slandering Josh Allen, and that's why I'm taking Miami to win. Because so here's the thing, Josh Allen, he'd have 100% completion rate if his receivers had go gadget arms, but unfortunately, they're all around.
Every
6'6",
quarterback would.
So unfortunately, his receivers can't jump 10 yards into the air to catch his overthrown bleacher balls. So, yeah, I'm going to take Miami to win this one, and they're going to cover.
Looking like Nicholas is going to have a loss on that one. I feel like I've really just missed the injury reports on this one. Byron Jones and Xavier Howard, limited participation. Could really just
We'll be ready by game time.
Light it up. I know they'll be ready by game time. Just something to keep your eye on. Let's see. Next game is Minnesota traveling to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is actually favored in this game, and they're favored in the opening line by 3.5, and it's moved by just 0.5 point to 3. I don't know. This is an interesting game because both teams really sucked week 1. But Minnesota sucked against the Packers, and they're an actual good team. Indianapolis sucked against a bad team and gave up. Gardner Minshew went 19 of 20.
He's pretty good.
I mean, he's good, but 19 of 20. That's I didn't watch a lot of the game. I'm sure they didn't go further than 15 yards, but still, I think I'm gonna take Minnesota +3 and to win.
Yeah, not much of a debate here for me either. I think Minnesota's probably going to come over there and win by 10. I don't really know why the Colts would be favored in this one. I think we've seen enough, I guess from just week 1 to know that the Colts really aren't that good. So either the Colts really aren't that good or the Jags are just a little bit better than we're expecting. I think we both know the Vikings and the Panthers, the Packers are kind of who they are. It's I guess more of the question marks going to lie on the Colts, but I'm still going to roll with the Vikings this week.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings to bounce back. They are kind of banged up at cornerback. They have Jeff Gladney and Cameron Dantzler both hurt. A lot of youth overall in their secondary. But yeah, I'm gonna take Vikings to win this one.
Just I feel like that's just a trap line, just waiting to suck us in.
Does Vegas know that we don't?
Probably that we're all idiots, and Philip Rivers is just gonna have like a bounce back game because he always manages to do. He just like manages to win those types of games, and then finds a way to lose like games against the Bengals where their team isn't like that good. Next game, 2 winners from the NFC North. Detroit traveling to Green Bay, favored by 6.
Not 2 winners.
How about you? How about you, go, Nicholas?
Wait, you said 2 winners?
Yeah, 2. Oh yeah, the Lions lost. I forgot about that.
Swift.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Damn good dog.
Whoops. Yeah, but Green Bay's favored by 6. So, if either one of you take it.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'm picking Green Bay to curb stomp them. Yeah, Detroit doesn't exactly have a good track record when going to Green Bay. I don't know if we're going to get that same, what was it, a 4-touchdown performance out of Rodgers. I don't know if we're going to get that, but I don't think the Lions are really going to put up much of a fight here. You saw the receivers started to get more in the action, not named Devontae Adams. You had MVS looking a little better and Alan Lazard. But, yeah, I'm going to pick the Packers to whoop them.
So this is actually a really interesting thing. Mitch Trubisky started to really take off in the Bears-Lions game only whenever Desmond Trufant got injured. So I think this game could hinge on Desmond Trufant's health. He was out earlier today. Did not practice. So was Kenny Galladay.
Is Okudah still on the injury report? I know he was out week 1.
Okudah is not on the injury report. So good job by the Lions to not. He could just be on the IR or something. But if they put him in his first game against Aaron Rodgers, it's not the best way to start off your cornerback's career. But anyways, I'm going to take Detroit plus 6. I at least liked what I saw out of them last week. I think they can put up more points. I think Swift is going to be a little bit more re-energized. Kenny Galladay hopefully returns to being healthy. But I ultimately see this as a loss for Detroit. It's just going to be one of those close games where Stafford drags them back somehow, some way, and they end up losing by a field goal. So, Riley?
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Packers here to win and cover. I think we saw what they did to Minnesota. I mean, they demolished them from an offensive standpoint. They have a lot more weapons than people like to admit. Aaron Jones and what's his name? I'm blanking on the receiver's name.
A.J. Dillon and Jamal Williams.
I was talking about Devontae Adams, the receiver.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they have a good 3-headed beast over there. So I think that we would put up enough points against this Detroit defense that really isn't anything too special. We like to harp on Patricia, but he's horrible. He is absolutely
He's a terrible
horrible.
head coach. He stinks. He straight up stinks. He's not good.
I like Matthew Stafford, but yeah, I just don't know if they'll be able to hang with him. But here's a question real quick. Do you guys think Stafford's even qualified for the Hall of Very Good yet?
No.
His stats would tell otherwise. His stats are absurd.
Absurd.
They're really good. No, they're absurd from the standpoint that he's never played in a. Has he even played in a playoff game?
Yeah, he has. They played against the Cowboys.
Okay. Well, for the lack of playoff games that he's played, he puts up an insane amount of yards. I can see Nicholas just going and typing it up.
I am. Let's take a look.
I
I don't
mean,
know if he is. He's got a career record of 69, 80, and 1.
okay, all right, but I'm looking at like passing yards and touchdowns. Like it's like more ridiculous from that standpoint.
He's not a winner, man.
Yeah, that's how he was at Georgia. Just just a career potential guy. I don't
He's
know.
like Matt Schaub on steroids.
Ooh,
Yeah, kinda with a bigger arm.
ooh. Nicholas, do you have those stats pulled up, or should we just move on?
I have his play. He has a pretty pedestrian playoff passing stats.
Well, I don't really care
He.
about playoff passing stats.
Oh, you're right, because he rarely goes there anyway.
Yeah,
Let me look at his
exactly. Yeah,
regular
exactly.
season.
Like, oh, okay. All right. Here's this article from USA Today. Matthew Stafford turns 32. Here's how he ranks all time. He let's see. He's only second in terms of passing yards before age 32. He's only second to Peyton Manning. In passing touchdowns, only third to Manning and Marino. In completions, first. In attempts, first. Interceptions, only 17th. So
Wait, is this for his age or is this for his
this is
career?
for quarterbacks up to age 32.
Okay, I was
And
about to
he's
say.
been playing
What?
for a while. So, yeah, I mean, he just puts up, he's going to continue to put up those numbers. So, yeah, I feel like we covered this. We can keep on watching Stafford's career with great interest. Next, the battle of the two mediocre white quarterbacks who are like kind of deceptively fast. New York travels to Chicago. Chicago is favored by 5.5, coming off of a kind of fluky comeback week 1 performance.
Hey, let's not call it fluky. They pulled that out.
Eh,
I'm gonna roll with the Bears this week. I don't really think. We all saw the Giants play Monday night, and it wasn't pretty at all. There's really not much to talk about. Saquon, if you can't get established a running game with Saquon Barkley, it's going to be a tough sledding. So I mean, Danny was pretty good. He wasn't great, but he was pretty good. I thought for what he was kind of been given. He's got better weapons as receivers than we kind of like to give him credit for. But it's still not going to be pretty. I think Trubisky's not going to have a great game, but their defense is going to kind of carry him to the victory.
I mean that dime that Daniel Jones dropped in to Darius Slayton for the touchdown was like 40 yards. That was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But I'm also going to go with Chicago 5.5. I mean this, like you said with Saquon, that was a atrocious performance from the Giants offensive line, and you can't really teach run blocking in 1 week. So that's just going to be a consistent problem. And I don't know if Joe Judge and his supporting cast of coaches can keep up that morale throughout the whole year. Nicholas?
I think Joe Judge is going to right the ship this game. I'm going with the Giants to win and cover. Saquon, he might not have a 100-yard performance, but I look down to see who's the better QB, and Mitch is just a god-awful quarterback. He's terrible. Daniel Jones, I think he actually shows some promise, much more than we can say about Trubisky, who's just dog shit. So I think it's going to come down to quarterback play, and I got to give the advantage to the Giants, and that's why I'm rolling with them. And also, you got Darius Slayton, who's really coming into his own as like decent wide receiver too, maybe even one for that team, since everyone kind of forecasted Shepard to be that guy in New York, but I don't really know if he's going to be that guy.
Yeah.
But
He
yeah,
gives
I'm
off
taking
Allen
the
Robinson
Giants.
vibes as a guy who's going to get stuck with shitty quarterbacks for his entire career, which Allen Robinson, that's also like pretty noteworthy to bring up that he's kind of like demanding a trade out of there. But just to like
he had a
cap
good
off,
conversation. He had a good conversation with Nagby
yeah,
today or whatever.
yeah. But just to cap off on what I think about Nicholas's pick, about Joe Judge's riding the ship. I really hope it rains up in New York this week for that prediction to come true, because he's going to need some mud to slide through to really rally the troops up there. Next game, we have two. Okay, all right. Now here's two teams that actually won first week. Jacksonville traveling to Tennessee in AFC South divisional matchup. Tennessee's favored by 9. Thoughts?
He said favored by 9.
Yes, Tennessee is favored by 9.
Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and roll with Tennessee winning, but the Jags covering. I thought the Jags, they're not the best team in the world, obviously, and they're pretty bad, but they actually showed a lot of promise kind of week 1. Minshew played, a hell of a game. He's got better weapons than we like to give him credit for. Chark is really good.
Can you list another weapon outside of Chark?
Who's the rookie that played well?
Oh, Chenault.
Chenault played well. They lost an elite running back, but I think they made up for it a little bit. They have some production out of that backfield, and so I think they'll keep it relatively close into the fourth quarter. Then kind of extend that lead just a little bit, and then just not be able to recover. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with Titans winning, Jags covering.
Nicholas?
I'm going with the Jags winning. I'll say,
Whoa.
yeah, I'll go with the Jags to win. Ever since losing Leonard Fournette, they're undefeated. They've never lost a game before. It kind of helps to shed the weight of someone who consistently gets 3.1 yards a carry. But, yeah, like Riley said, they have Chark, Laviska Shenault, Keelan Cole, new running back James Robinson, I think is his name. It looks like he could be potentially their bell cow.
You know what James Robinson is? He's a Jag, a.k.a. just a guy. He's literally just a guy. His name means just a guy. James Robinson.
See.
James Robinson is just a guy. Not
right.
Not
He's
relevant
a rookie
at all.
running back. It's a position that chews you up and spits you out.
That's that was like Brendan last week bringing up like Van Jefferson and like the 6th wide receiver on the Rams roster. Absolutely.
But the point is, he's a rookie. He's got no tread on him. He's new. You can beat him into the ground. But
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
And Minshew's looking solid. I'm not really sold on the Titans. I think their run last year into the AFC Championship, pretty fluky. I don't think that's kind of repeatable. I just don't see the Titans repeating that kind of success this year. I don't think it's going to line up for them that way. But, yeah, I'm definitely taking the Jags to win this one.
Sorry to interrupt. Did Vic Beasley play last week?
I don't know if
it was probably a lot like his Atlanta performances where he just kind of disappears on the field.
He's not.
No. But I mean, they have Clowney, who's going to get more integrated into this offense or defense, and I'm going to take Tennessee to cover and win. I think last week was kind of a weird spot. Just like Monday night up in Denver, they would have beaten the Broncos by so much more, except Gostkowski couldn't kick a field goal to save his life. They would have covered by they literally would have won by 9 or 10. They dominated that game, and their passing offense didn't even get going. It was mostly just Derrick Henry, and their passing offense can actually do stuff. I mean, you say but Corey Davis looked pretty good. He's got that contract year. Whenever they declined his contract fifth-year option. So
It's not good.
he was pretty good on Monday night. I mean,
Doesn't matter.
I at least liked what I saw.
A.J. Brown's the number 1 receiver over there.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Corey Davis is like a nice little
Tannehill,
addition. Then Johnny Smith is pretty good. So yeah, I mean I was gonna go Jacksonville +9, but then I realized this is a sucker bet from Vegas because it's such a large line. You're gonna think, okay, I think they can at least like maybe pull it in within a field goal or a touchdown. But no, this is Tennessee. All the
Tannehill
way.
is what you just mentioned. He's a Jag. He is the Ryan Fitzpatrick of this generation. He is not really that good, but he's going to get it done. And then once he gets his deal, he's just going to kind of decline. I think he's going to have a kind of a major decline this season, mid to major decline, and he's just not going to be worth the money. And he's going to be a traveling quarterback who makes his money playing big whenever the other quarterbacks go down.
I mean, he's just a game manager. That's more like the Jag him. He's just a game manager. But that's all you need whenever you have Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown. That's all you need. Just another form of Alex Smith reincarnated. Also, okay, all right. We finished up with the 1 o'clock slate. Now we're jumping to the 4 o'clock slate. Last week's 4 o'clock slate really sucked. I did not enjoy it. And it looks like this week is not going to be that great either. Actually, it could be. We'll go to the 2 young teams, 2 relatively new head coaches. Washington traveling to Arizona, across the country. Arizona, favored by 6.5. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'll start. I'm taking Arizona to win and to cover. I don't know if they're going to have as explosive as a run as the Niners did last year, where they just kind of caught fire. But Kyler really seems to be coming into his own. You got Kenyon Drake looking pretty good back there. Chase Edmonds got in on the action. Young receiving core.
Yeah. Hey, bring up that one guy for Arizona, huh? That one guy, I think he had like 150 yards, a lot of catches. They got him this offseason from the Texans. Who was it?
Not worried about that. I
Who
don't
was
even
it?
know who that is.
Say his name. Say his name.
Not concerned. I'm talking about the younger guys, like
Say his
Christian
name.
Kirk.
Christian Kirk didn't do shit last week. Say his name.
I'm just saying, they do have younger receivers to work with.
Oh, like Larry Fitzgerald? Huh?
Clearly not who I'm referencing.
Say his
Anyways.
name. Say it. Say it.
New revamped defense with
Say
Isaiah
it.
Simmons. Yeah, I think the Washington football team, I will not call them redacted. I will not call them that.
Ooh, you got really close. You said the first 3 letters.
Redacted. I think they had a pretty good defensive showing against Philly, but it could just be that Philly is shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Arizona to win.
I wholeheartedly agree. I really like what I saw out of Arizona. I think I don't know how Ron Rivera is going to be able to handle traveling all the way across the country with cancer amid coronavirus. That seems a little scary, and like he had to pump an ice.
Going to be fine.
I don't know. I'm just a little bit worried, man. I'm just a little bit worried.
He's not going to keel over. He's fine.
I think he's just going to be really tired because, like, those long plane rides they can wear on
He's
you.
a grown-ass man. He's fine.
I'm just a little concerned. I don't know. Yeah, for that reason, I'm going to take Arizona by 5.5. I love picking with the long layovers. Those are always just very fun. Right?
No. Close one. You guys were half right. I think Arizona will win, but they're not going to cover. I think that defensive line that the redacted are using is just going to be overpowering against that offense. So I think it's going to be close, probably like a 23-20 kind of game. But yeah, I'm going to have the Cardinals win, Redskins to cover, redacted to cover.
Whoa. What?
What?
Last week I slipped up, and now you slip up. See, I made sure to not even bring up their name.
Ooh. I have the Washington football team covering.
Okay, all right,
You know
moving
what
on.
you really said.
Let's move away from Washington. I was gonna try working a joke there, but never mind. We have probably the game of the week. Baltimore at Houston. At least like in terms of quarterback play, we get. Baltimore's favored by 7 on the road. Very favorable line for two very competitive teams. And yeah, Nicholas, you go ahead and tackle this since you're our resident Texans fan.
Yeah, the running theme with Bob is that in most primetime games, he comes out very unprepared, similar to another head coach I'm a fan of in the NFC South. But yeah, just awful showing in Kansas City to open up the season with. I understand there wasn't a preseason, and maybe he was treating that game like a preseason game. Who knows? It just looked very rough. David Johnson looked okay against the Chiefs. He looked serviceable. I know everyone clowned on him for trading a receiver for DeAndre Hopkins. I said his name.
You can't even get him out of your mouth.
Didn't even have to bait him into it.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, he
It's like the
trades
R word for
D-Hop,
Nicholas.
gets David Johnson in a second. I see Baltimore winning, covering. I'm hoping to see a stronger performance out of Deshaun. Chris Jones and Frank Clark caused a lot of problems, especially against right guard. I think Zach Fulton was playing, and he was just getting his shit packed in by Chris Jones, and Deshaun didn't really have a lot of time. I know Riley said, oh, Deshaun got paid. He doesn't care anymore. That's not the case. That was low-quality bait from Riley.
He doesn't.
I'm going to say Deshaun throws for at least 2 touchdowns this game. I know that's not a bold take or anything, but it's better than what we saw from Kansas City. I'm going to say he throws at least 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, so at least a clean game out of Deshaun. But I'm definitely taking Ravens to win this and cover. They're just a better team overall than the Texans are.
Riley?
Yeah, Deshaun. That week 1 performance wasn't anything special at all. Really disappointed in him. We look at his weapons and they're not that great. I mean, who's his number 1 receiver right now? Is it Will Fuller?
Yeah, Will Fuller. He's still healthy.
He is healthy as of right now. He's a speed guy, but I really don't think that they're going to be able to. I mean, how many points did the Chiefs put up on him? Was it 33? Was it more than 33?
34? Let me look.
I think this Ravens offense is just as good as that. So I think there's just no way they're going to be able to keep up points-wise. I think the Ravens are going to come out fast, and then the Texans are just going to kind of be trying to trail and catch up behind. They're not going to be able to have a run game just because they're going to have to throw so much and try and keep up. And it's just not going to be pretty. So I got the Ravens winning and covering.
So, hold up. All right. So, I do agree with you guys that the Ravens are going to win. But I think this is going to be – so you had the rough game to open the season where Deshaun didn't look good. The whole team didn't look that great. And everybody they weren't fully clowning Bill O'Brien yet. This week is whenever they clown Bill O'Brien because he's going to make a stupid late game decision that ends up costing the game for them. Houston's going to stay in this game. They're going to come out a little bit. They're not going to come out as flat. They're not having to take on the reigning Super Bowl champions. I don't know how they keep it a close game. I just think that they will keep it a close game. And then I think there's a lot of push potential at least with this line being at 7. But I'm taking Houston +7, but then they're still going to lose because of a dumb decision by Bill O'Brien.
That's even if we're in the position to be competitive that late in the fourth quarter, which I struggle to see.
Like I said,
I'm telling you, Deshaun got paid. He doesn't care anymore.
Bait. Horrible, shitty bait.
He doesn't.
Okay. So anyways, let's move on to a team that we were just talking about, Kansas City. They're traveling to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. I think it's in SoFi Stadium, right?
I think so, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's still kind of weird. It's going to be weird seeing the Chargers like not in a soccer stadium.
Let me just say, there's still not going to be any fans. It's not like it's going to be any different for him.
Yeah.
Never been a change for him.
So Kansas City is favored by 8.5 against the Chargers. I'm just going to go ahead and pick Kansas City 8.5. That offense looked really bad against Cincinnati for the Chargers. Like, it was atrocious. Tyrod, I was honestly like a big Tyrod believer. I thought he could at least like get some stuff done, but he doesn't even look mobile, which like he just looks ineffective in all facets. And it's not like he has a lack of weapons. He has Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Hunter Henry, Austin Eckler out of the backfield. Austin Eckler only got like 1 target last week. So Tyrod's not even checking down to his guys whenever he's getting pressured. So I'm not really sure what the deal was. Who's their coach right now?
And Anthony.
Oh, that guy's a candidate to get fired. Definitely.
The defensive coach.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm taking Kansas City 8.5. I just think it's this Kansas City team is way too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go, Riley.
Yeah, there's not too much to talk about here. I don't think that the Chargers are going to really be able to score enough points to stay in this game either. Tyrod Taylor, he's been around for a few teams now. But he started in Baltimore, then Buffalo, then Cleveland, now here.
Yeah,
he might be the Ryan Fitzpatrick I was talking about. We just might not even know it.
Well,
he's just kind of bouncing around.
Ryan Fitzpatrick at least would come in and he would play well. Tyrod Taylor, he comes in to a team and then he gets benched for the quarterback that comes in. That's not Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick is a career backup who just manages to find a way to get into games and then succeed. I don't think we've ever seen Tyrod like pull off like a big stretch of games.
Was Tyrod still there when they drafted
Josh Allen?
Yeah.
No. I think Matt Barkley was there, which is why Josh Allen had to start so early. Yeah, I don't know. Nicholas?
Yeah, not much to add here. Chiefs to win and cover. Tyrod sucks. They had trouble against the Bengals. The Chiefs, they're not even going to be a speed bump to them. This is just going to be a smooth sailing game for the Chiefs as they go to 2-0.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the 4 o'clock slate. Like I said, it's not like a great slate. But we'll still get like Washington, Arizona on Fox, and then Baltimore, Houston on CBS with Romo on the call. That's gonna be fun to listen to. Sunday night game, New England, traveling to Seattle. Cam Newton versus Russell Wilson. Seattle's favored by 4. I honestly don't know what to think about this game. This is probably one of the tougher games that you have to think about because we still don't really know, like, I think people can really hype themselves up on New England after last week, but I'm still going to take Seattle by 4. That their defense is still depleted, and New England's defense is still depleted, and Miami didn't really have the talent to exploit that depletion. So you sub in like Preston Williams, Devontae Parker, and whoever like Jordan Howard for Chris Carson, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. It I think Seattle takes this. They probably win by like a touchdown, and Pete Carroll just keeps on smacking his gum on the sidelines.
Yeah,
No.
huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle to win this one and to cover. Historically, as of late, since 2010, the Pats have kind of had difficulty defending against mobile QBs. Cam Newton never lost to the Pats. Russell Wilson doesn't have a regular season loss to the Pats. In both of the previous regular season matchups, Wilson has thrown for at least 3 touchdowns, and I think that he's only developed as a passer. And I think he's the second best QB in the league behind Mahomes. So
look at those stats. Look at
yeah,
those stats that you're bringing up.
I'm a big Wilson stan. I love watching him play. He's super fun, super talented. I don't think Metcalf is gonna go off. I'm really debating on starting him in fantasy just because.
Hey, Nicholas. Nobody cares about your fantasy team. Okay, buddy.
I'm saying in general, the Pats don't really let up 100-yard receivers. I think they're going to get their work done elsewhere. But overall, I think the Seahawks are going to win. I don't think the Pats are going to lay down, of course. But Wilson is just doing too good in the air right now to bet against.
No. You guys are both right, but you guys are both wrong. This is going to be the Seahawks winning this by at least 2 scores. I could see them winning by 3. If the Seahawks can do that to the Falcons, just imagine what they can do to the Pats. This Pats team isn't that great compared to what they've been a couple last years. They lost a few pieces on that defense. I know they still have Gilmore, but
Riley, the reason why is because the coaching staff in New England is significantly better than the coaching staff in Atlanta. That's why.
No,
I don't think it's going to be a significant blowout, especially on Sunday night.
I think it'll be a 2-score game. I think like 13 points is probably how much they're going to win by, but you can't even compare. Like Dan Quinn, great head coach. So, yeah, there's just not much to talk about here for me. I just don't see how the Pats can be able to score enough. I'm not a big Cam Newton stan ever since his most recent shoulder surgery. It's just not been very accurate in his whole career, so it'll be tough to beat this team because they have a really good defense.
Whenever he popped up on red zone, I really liked what I saw of Cam Newton. He was getting the ball to underneath guys. It had been a while since they were kind of force-feeding the ball to N'Keal Harry, which kind of like throwing him into the fire. Brady never really wanted to throw to him last year. Bill and McDaniels never really wanted to put him in. So I like that they're kind of being forced to use these younger guys by necessity. I just like Cam a little bit more. If this line was like maybe 6.5, I'd be tempted to go New England, but I just think Seattle was a lot better. All right, so we're all in agreement on that. We'll go ahead and move to our last game of the entire week. It is New Orleans traveling to the Black Hole, the new stadium, Las Vegas. It's going to be so cool to look at that at night. It's going to be awesome.
What's the spread on that?
New Orleans is favored by 6. So, I don't know how to feel about these new stadium games because, like, it's not like the Chargers where they've already played a game in SoFi, and it's not like the Chargers even really own that stadium. I mean, Las Vegas did win last week against the Panthers. That's not like saying much, but I think I didn't like what I saw out of New Orleans in their offense, to be honest. Their defense really carried them, and I think that Las Vegas's offense this week is going to be better than Tampa Bay's offense last week. Not saying that they're better overall, just saying that they're going to be better this week. I'll take Las Vegas +6, but to lose.
It's not saying much when you say that, yeah, the Raiders' offense is going to be better than Tampa Bay's.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay was pretty much – they were horrible last week. But I'm going to just take the Saints to win and cover. I hate them, but they're super talented. Well, actually, Michael Thomas is going to be there.
I forgot to mention that. So their top wide receivers
a little bit more.
Yeah, it's going to be like Traquan Smith and a very old Emmanuel Sanders.
Okay. I'm still gonna have the Saints winning, but I'm tempted to not have them cover. I'm torn on that right now. You know what? Screw it. They'll cover. They will cover.
Nicholas?
I'm gonna go with the Saints to win and cover. I think they do have Mike Thomas out, but Peyton is a superior coach to John Gruden. So
it's only going to up the Taysom Hill usage. Oh gosh. Thank God that we don't have Booger on the call. And like that cast of Monday Night Football crew, because like
Tessitore.
Oh yeah.
Boogermobile?
They would have beat down Taysom Hill, especially this week whenever he's going to be used a little bit more. Gosh. Yeah. What did you guys think of the Monday Night crew?
I thought they were better.
It's hard to be worse.
Yeah.
But they were decent to good. I like Herb Street a lot and Fowler. I wish they would do it every week. I'm not going to complain.
I don't wish that they would do it every week because they do a lot better on college football, and I think their Saturday night games are, at least I pay more attention to them than the Monday night games. They don't need to be calling trash like whatever their the NFL shafts on the ESPN.
Well, I
meant
as in like both.
Yeah, but that stresses that would be a lot of work for them, and that might decrease their quality. And I'd rather take quality over quantity in this scenario.
They're just the best in the business, but
I know they're the best in the business. They're better than Tirico and Gruden. I'll say that.
Oh.
No, you guys can't be serious. You can't be serious.
There's just something special about Gruden. Gruden's kind of, I want to say he's an idiot. He's just like so over the top. It's kind of funny to listen to.
Listen to. He's fun. So, his Gruden grinders, I never got tired of that. Tirico was a great compliment to him. This is the best crew, of course, since those two departed. Of course, that's not saying a lot, like Riley said, because we've had straight garbage. We've had McDonough. We've had Jason Witten, who is just atrocious.
Oh, I forgot about Jason Witten. Oh my gosh. And he's in fucking Las Vegas. I completely forgot. Oh, that's so weird.
Never forget when Jason Witten ripped the Pro Bowl trophy off of the thing. He means well, but I don't think he's a good booth personality.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that Jason Witten was even on the broadcast.
Yeah.
And was he on with Booger?
Yeah, I think he was with Booger and McDonough, if I remember right.
I'm just not a fan of McDonough's voice. It's very
I think he's kind of bland.
Yeah, he sounds like he belongs on a 12 o'clock Big Ten game. Like that's his that would be his niche. Like calling Iowa versus Northwestern, not a Monday Night Football game whenever all the eyes are on him.
Yeah, he just doesn't get me hyped up for it like Gruden did.
I wouldn't say it's his voice. I'd just say he's just very even keel. Just no real emotion. Like you can tell when Gruden gets excited. You can tell when Herbstreit gets excited.
Yeah.
With him, it's just all just level. But I think we're all finished, right?
Yes,
we just
we
gotta do the
are.
guarantees.
Oh yeah, we do have to do the guarantees. If one of you guys want to go, because I still have to think about this.
Yep,
Oh.
I got mine on my head.
Who was your guarantee
Mine,
last week, Riley?
My guarantee last week was the Raiders.
Okay, all right, that
This
was a
week-
good guarantee. Who was Brendan's?
Brendan's was.
We'll have to ask him.
I forget.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him, and then we'll get his name for this week. So
You
what's
got it
yours?
right. I just forget who it was. I'm taking. He took the Bills. That's who it was.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I am taking the Niners to win this week.
Bold.
I think their division's really good, so it's going to be kind of hard to pick them to beat, many of their interleague members.
Yeah, the NFC West is pretty competitive this year.
So I'm going to go ahead and take them beating up on a weaker team this week. But you, Nicholas?
I guaranteed Pittsburgh last week. That came true. I'm going to guarantee Dallas this week to send Dan Quinn and company to 0-2. And I'm very excited for the post-game press conference to hear how they're even madder than week one and how things are going to get turned around.
Okay. So I'm gonna do my strategy that I did last week by picking. Well, let's see. I believe I picked Detroit. Yes, I did. I had both Carolina and Detroit selected. I would have lost on either, but I picked Detroit. I'm going to pick another kind of bad team that needs that I think's going to win and save my good picks for later in the season. I'm going to go Cincinnati tomorrow night or tonight, depending on when you listen to this. I just like there's not going to be many times I'll be able to pick Cincinnati because they're probably going like 4-12, and you won't be able to predict when they're actually going to win. So this is probably their best ability or best time to win. Yeah. That's my explanation. So, and Nicholas, who'd you pick again?
Dallas. I'm picking the Cowboys.
Or last week you picked Pittsburgh?
Steelers.
Yeah, I had the Steelers then.
All right. Well, if that wraps up everything, we might have something Riley and I might have something special for you on Thursday or Friday. Maybe, possibly with CF College Football Pick'ems. I don't know his schedule.
Oh, yeah.
I see the eyes.
We'll have to figure something about that out.
Yeah. Worst case, I just do a whole solo podcast where I just talk about every single game, and that.
We'll have to segment some games off.
Yeah, we won't dig too far into the weeds. I think it would only be like a 20-minute podcast. It wouldn't be very long.
Yep.
But Nicholas, it was great having you on. Hopefully the timing can come off a little bit better, and you can guarantee whenever I pause the recording of this podcast, my tune is going to completely change. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And peace out, man.